Good morning, second grade. It's Mrs. Barhorst, and we are here for lesson 67 in phonics today. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about alphabetical order or ABC order. There's been some pages in some of your workbooks that include some alphabetical order practice, and today I just want to talk to you about it a little bit. So let's take a look at these words. When you're alphabetizing or putting words into ABC order, let me get this out of the way here, kiddos. You are going to look for a guide letter. Oftentimes the guide letter is the first letter. Now if all of these have the same first letter, we're going to go to the second letter. The second letter as our guide letter. But take a look at these words today. The second letter is also the same in all of the words. So what are we going to do? We're going to go to the third letter. Let's take a look. The third letter, since all of them have T's and all of them have R's, the third letter is going to be our guide letter. So I'm going to go ahead and underline all of these third letters, and we're going to go through and put these in alphabetical order. Why is alphabetical order important? Well, even in class here, I put the kiddos in alphabetical order to help organize and be able to find papers, dictionaries, and glossaries in the back of books have all of your words in alphabetical order. So when you're looking for something, it's organized in that way. So people use alphabetical order all of the time. So it's really important to be able to understand it. Okay, so since we can't use the first and the second letter as our guide letters, we've moved on and underlined our third letter. So in order to alphabetize this list, we'll scan from top to bottom, and I will recite the alphabet slowly as I scan the guided letters, showing or looking for the letter I am reciting. So let's take a look. I'm going to grab a marker instead here. So in my brain, and maybe you have an alphabet list right in front of you, I'm just going to go through the alphabet and take a look at these guide letters. A, I already found one. Tramp, to tramp through, or an elephant will tramp, has an A as the third guide letter. So I'm going to go ahead, and you don't have this paper, I'm just going to have you watch. Write that up here at the top. I'm going to go ahead and mark it off and keep going. So I have A, I'm looking for a B, okay, I'm looking for a C, D, E, I have an E. This word trend has an E as the third letter. So I'm going to go ahead and write that next. And cross that off. So I'm at E in the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E. Okay, now F, G, H, there's an I. So I know that this one is next. So trim, like if you get a little bit of a haircut, a trim, just a little bit cut off. Trim is my third word in the alphabet. So A, B, C, H, I, J, M. Sometimes I have to go back to the beginning of the alphabet if I get stuck. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. O, trod. O is the third letter. I'm going to go ahead and write that next. And then cross that out. And then U is my last. L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U. So truck. All right, truck. And that is all of these words in alphabetical order. Remember, it's important to be able to put words in alphabetical order and to be able to look up words in alphabetical order when using dictionaries or just pretty much a lot of things in the world are organized by alphabetical order. And if the first letter is the same, you go to the second letter. If the second letter is the same, you go to the third letter. What if the third letter is all the same? You go to the fourth letter as your guide letter. So that's just a little bit of alphabetizing today. Now, some of you I know my class happens to have this in your workbook or your binders. You can work on this with your teacher at home and go to the third letter as your guide letter, but we're not going to do that today. Not everyone has that. I want to talk to you a little bit today about final stable syllables. I know you know how to sound out final stable syllables, but we're going to talk about spelling final stable syllables. But before we start that, let's take a look at our second grade sight words. Get ready to go? All right. What's this word? Again. Very good. How about this one? Guess. Good. Against. Answer. Enough. This one. Friend. Good. Gone. Ocean. Question. And young. They're definitely getting harder. Nice work. And if you want, you can start over and practice those again if they're a little bit tricky for you. Let's go ahead and start reviewing sounds. So we're going to find your workbook page for today, which I have right here. Okay. Why do we do this spelling sound review? Well, we do the spelling sound review because when you're finger spelling and sounding out words, you need to be able to understand which letters represent those sounds. And sometimes we have more than one choice, so that's really important to remember your spelling rules as well. I'll change up the colors here. All right, so I need you to repeat after me. That's important as well because I want you to be able to form the sounds and see where your mouth is. So repeat after me. Repeat. Good. Write all of your different ways to make the S sound in a word. Good. S, comma, C, that's cedilla C when in the initial or medial position. In the final position, we have that floss rule SS, comma. We also have SE, and that's cedilla CE. Okay, make sure you have all those choices. It's a lot. Give me a minute there. Number 2, please repeat O. Repeat. Good. Write all the different ways you can make the O sound. And then check up here with me. All right, kiddos. O consonant E, comma O when in the initial or medial position. OW like snow O when it's in the final position. Here's the next one. U. Repeat. Good. Write all your ways to write the U sound. That's it for that one. U consonant E or just U like unicorn. All right. Number 4. Repeat after me. Or. Good. Or. Good. Combination. Go ahead and write it. Remember your phonics dance. Or. Number 5. Repeat after me. Z. Repeat. Write it. Z like zebra. Very good. But also Z like rose. When S follows a voiced letter and all vowels are voiced, the S sounds like Z. Number 6. Repeat after me. W. Like whale. There's a little breath after the W. It's a combination. It's a question word. WH. Very good. Number 7. Ng. Repeat. Like ring. Go ahead and write it. It's also used in our suffix ing. Ng is ng. All right, here's another big one. Repeat after me. E. Repeat. Good. All right, like a bumblebee party. E in the initial and medial position sounds like E. Also just an E. In the final position, you can also have E, like a bumblebee party, or Y. When does Y sound like an E in the final position? when it is a two-syllable word, like candy. Number 9, ugh. Repeat. Oh, oh, ugh. Look out for Captain Hook. Oh, oh. All right, those are all of our different sounds. Now let's use some of these sounds in words. Let's review some words. So number 10, I'd like you to repeat the word trout. Repeat. It's kind of fish, trout. Go ahead and write it. It's got the ow diphthong in the medial position there. If I go too fast, just pause me and then come back and check. And here's trout. T-R-O-U-T. Number 11 is bossy. Repeat. Good, bossy. Boss follows the floss rule and then that vowel Y that we practiced up here. After you've tried it out, go ahead and take a look up here if you need to make any changes. That's what your eraser's for, no worries. I want you to try. All right, and number 12. Number 12 is the word longest. Repeat, longest. Good, that EST suffix when comparing many things. The most long. And check with mine. All right, let's go ahead and review some sight words today. These are words you can't fingerspell all the parts because some of the parts don't follow the phonics rules, which can be frustrating, so you have to memorize them by sight. Number 13 is answer. Repeat. Good, go ahead and write it. And then check with mine. All right, number 14 is gone. Repeat. Go ahead and write it. Take a look up here. G-O-N-E. Number 15 is guess. Repeat, guess. Go ahead and write it. And then take a look up and see if you spelled it correctly. G-U-E-S-S. Right, moving on to our sentence. Please remember why we do dictation sentences. We're working on sentence structure. We're working on using capital letters when they're at the beginning of a sentence or a proper noun, naming a specific noun. We also want to work on those finger spacing and being able to spell words inside of a sentence instead of just all by itself. And thinking about the punctuation, what goes at the end of the sentence, the end marks. So I'm going to read this to you and you can pause and write it. When do you think the rain will stop? When do you think the rain will stop? Pause the video, go ahead and write that. Really think hard about the punctuation at the end. All right, welcome back. Hopefully you had some time to work on your sentence. When do you think the rain will stop? Take a look at your sentence and take a look at mine. When has that WH combination that we practiced up here. When, space, do you think, think has that th digraph in the initial position. The rain, A-I, rain, rain, you're a pain. A-I, A-A-A, A-I, A-A-A. Don't forget those phonics dances. Will and stop. Okay. And it's asking a question. It's asking a question, so you need a question mark. All right. I'd like you to take a look at these words. Bubble, table, and stumble. Remember, we're working on final stable syllables and how to use them when spelling. A spelling rule with those final stable syllables. So all these words have something in common. Which final stable syllable do they use? Final stable syllable, B-L-E. Very good. And how do we code this? Who remembers? Say it out loud. With a bracket. Very good. A bracket We cross out the E's, put a little accent mark before it, and then we take a look at those vowels, right? I know this vowel is a short because it's followed by a consonant. I know this vowel is long because it does not have a consonant after it. This U has consonant M, so it is breathed and it's a short sound. Bubble, table, and stumble. All right. What would happen if I erased one of these B's? I want you to understand when you have a double consonant and when you don't. So if I took away one of those B's, what would this word be? Let's code it. Well, there's no consonant after that U, so it would be long. How would you say that? Buble. Buble? That's not a word. In order for that U to stay short and it be bubble, you've got to have that other B there, okay? Like this, bubble. All right, now let's take a look at another word. Let's take a look at this word table. Do I need two B's for table? Let's take a look at what that would look like. Table with two B's, like bubble has two B's, we're trying to figure out when we double that consonant. Let's look at it. Well, now that A has a consonant afterwards, so now the A would be short. And the way you would say that is table. Table isn't a word, it's table, which is why we have only one B, okay? You gotta know those vowels change when you double, okay? All right.